Mm, mm, all right, all right. Shalom, 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 shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say that this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahaya has made. And I, Sister Deborah, share and I will rest therein. Just coming with a little something, something. And the title is It's Time to Talk. So this is your time to talk. Okay, if you have any questions or even answers to questions that has been spoken throughout this year or last year, if you have some revelation that you can share, some testimonies of whatever, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Shalom, shalom. It's good to see you in the live chat. All right. But yeah, it's open time. It's time to talk. Any questions? Anything? Anyone can start off. Wait a minute, let me get this. I'm gonna wait a minute so that a few more can come into the live. And let me hear from you. Shalom, shalom. It's good to see you. This is your turn to talk. Time to talk. It's your time to talk. Sister Deborah is all ears. And if you have some answers, some questions, you want to discuss some issues that's going on in the world or things that's happening, or maybe you have a revelation or something. Somebody might have a dream or a vision. I had to add that to it. Because I believe that the Father is giving a lot of dreams and visions in this day and time. In this day, in that day. I think He's given a lot of visions and a lot of dreams. Yes. And revelations, to be honest. I post this, but I didn't upload it, and that's why no one knows that I'm here. Should have did it. I should have done it the right way, the correct way, and I just didn't. I didn't know what I was doing. Just put it like that. Okay, it's time to talk. Shalom, shalom. It's good to see you. It's time to talk. If you got any questions or you got some revelation, dreams, vision, some warnings, or warning, or you got anything to share with us, it's your time. A lot of people have answers to a lot of questions, but they're afraid because they don't know how one might uh, accept it or take it. But we're in the midnight hour. Come on with it. That's what hour we in the midnight hour. There's no more time left. So let's put it on out here and see what we can do with it. You know what? That's what I found it to be. I think it falls under that same category because back in the early time, way before our grandparents and so on, a lot of people use numbers, colors, all kind of stuff like that in witchcraft, and they were calling it also voodoo. They was using it in voodoo as well. Oh yes, shalom, shalom. Yes, they was using it in voodoo as well. This is Sister Deborah's problem. And do she have a problem? Yes, I'm on the earth. The earth itself is a problem and the people therein. So, yeah, I got a problem. And the problem is, say, for instance, there is some revelation with numbers and with colors and things of that nature. What does it do for our salvation? What does it do for our Savior, the one that has redeemed us? I mean, what is it? Where is it connected to Him? And if you can't find it connected to Yeshua HaMashiach, and you can't find it connected to Ahia, well, what's the purpose? The flesh. So that's the problem I have. And that's why Sister Deborah tell you, I believe in spirit and truth. Because if you connect anything else outside of spirit and truth, that's going to the flesh. And that flesh is always, I'm going to tell you the truth, the flesh is winning. To tell you the truth, the flesh is winning on this earth. It is winning. So Satan is getting the victory on the earth, but he ain't getting what he getting. He getting what Ahia is allowing him to receive. So he still ain't having his way. Yeah, it's this one guy. He always using colors and numbers, and the only problem, like I said, I have a problem. Don't connect it to my Father, and don't connect it to the Son. Okay, and don't connect it to the power, because none of it falls under spirit and truth. The numbers he's giving you has no connection, and the colors he's hung up on these colors, and a lot of other things. Everybody got so many ways or in connecting with the Father, and they're calling it the Father's giving them this information, giving them these numbers, these colors. I mean, all kind of things, you know. And I'm like, where are they going to draw the line? Where is the line drawn? It's just like it's anything goes. Yeah, that's what it feels like. And it's like, okay, but what does it do to the eternal destiny and where I'm heading? What did it do? What would it do for me going to the promised land and my mission going there, or my journey, or what is it? What does it manifest my Father? Do it glorify my Father? Do it honor my Father? If it doesn't give Ahia the glory, what will be the purpose? Why would he give you numbers to feed to people? Why would he give you colors to give to people if it has no relevance to who he is? I don't get it. So I too, but I've always thought it was witchcraft. Right. And you see how it makes you feel, okay, we need to stop working so hard. Now that we know that the curse, the end game of the curse is that Judah is destroyed, why are we working so hard to build into something that has the end game to be destroyed? You get the point I'm making. What it does, it releases you. It releases you from all this, how would I say it, cult and traditions and all these rituals. I think I'm saying that right. All these different things that leads to nothing but destroy. Because the moment we are destroyed in the eyes of Ahia, fully here, then he gonna swoop you up out of here. But he will not take us out of here until we are fully destroyed here. Because when he was saying it, I was like, wait a minute, Father, you're saying, and Ahia did, and Ahia was doing all this to us. He never said nobody did anything to us. He's saying in every verse he did it until we are destroyed, until we are crushed, until we are out of our mind. I'm like, so after we're out of our mind, then what? then Deborah, that's how I'm going to give you a new heart. I'm going to give you a new spirit. He's going to put all those things in us, but we're going to get those when we are on our way to the promised land, and we're getting there once we get there. But just imagine how scary it's going to be on that journey going. That's the scary part. But it's a blessing because it sets us free. It sets us free from all this nonsense that's going on and saying this, learning your history and learning this and this. Because the end game end our history, y'all. It end our history over in this land of captivity. Where else can we go? It ends it. It ends it. Until we are destroyed. This country is not going to, they're going to be totally destroyed too. They're going to be wiped out. Totally. So that's where you don't focus on them. He's getting ready. He's going to throw down on them. That's just going to be the end for them. It ain't no coming back. Because right now, I thought y'all might think this is crazy. When I see how he said the whole earth is off course or out of course, it makes so much sense because they have stripped every animal on the earth from its natural created, how would I say it, position in which a higher created them from. They can taking everything away from them. Now they're trying to make it a law that you can marry your animals and have sexual intercourse. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but you wouldn't believe it, but it's in some court in this country. You see how sick they are? That's why I know something's wrong, because this little pit bull, he's trying to figure out my only way. I know he has to be thinking it in some way or another, not like I'm thinking it. My barking is my voice. If I can't use that, what can I use? I got to do everything you tell me. I got to do this, do this, do this. And now I can't even speak. He's out there and he's having issues with people because he barks. And guess what, you guys? He don't bark at nobody. The man next door to his yard, no. But when they start throwing stuff at him and messing with him behind his fence, that's the only time he'll bark. Like now, he don't bark. So he only do it when he feel threatened. That's it. And they don't even want him to do that. If that's not crazy. And my dumb self was trying to figure out why I don't hear, this is what I said, why I don't hear kids in the yard no more playing? Why I don't hear animals barking? Why I don't hear cats in the gangway or, you used to hear the cats. You don't hear nothing. Everything is silent. And when you don't hear children playing, I know something gone. Something's it's over, y'all. It's over. It is over. So my son said, why do you be smiling when you see kids riding their bikes? Because that's the norm, y'all. I said, Raymond, that's the norm. When I see that, it brings back memories because that's the norm. But all of that has been taken away. The kids don't have a swing outside. They don't have a basketball court. They don't have nothing. Nothing. It's all, everybody is all shut up in their own circle and in their homes. And when I see oh boy, y'all should see the smile on this sister's face when I see kids playing, because I was like, oh man, that's spring. And it takes me all the way back and make me just feel, oh, that feels so good just to see it. And this why when he said the whole earth, he said it, I think it's 3 times in the book. But I think what he's saying is everything is out of its order. That's what I think. I really do. I really do. Yep, they're on the video games, but all the kids don't have video games. The thing about it is somewhere they're being trained to live a different life than their childhood life. You know what kids are supposed to be doing? It ain't the kids, it's the parents. It's the mindset that's already messed up from the floor because they think it's cute to see all their kids everybody in the living room on on their phones or on their tablets or on their laptop. No communication, no nothing. They don't even eat together no more. You know what I'm saying? See, I don't know. When I brought mine up, we didn't do that. We didn't. We weren't allowed. When dinner time come, we all ate at the dinner table, and you didn't see all my children, all of us around on game systems, and and don't think that they weren't in the house. But oh man, this sister did all kind of fun things, all kind of things kids would like to do, and you know what? Uh, we have one that said, listen to this. Thank you for the shining light to the curse of Judith. Okay, now I see why it is in the will never get better. You know what that person was doing? That's a nice, that person has a real good heart. You know why? They were looking at it and hoping that it would get better. See, so what are they doing? They thirsted for some type of truth of what is actually going on and why isn't it getting better? And then they said, let me see, it will never get better. My heart is not so heavy. That's what the Father wants. He said he sets you to liberty so you can live free, float free. And that's even with what took place before the foundation of the world, because ain't nothing we can change. We can't move nothing that's in our way, that's coming our way. But he said, I want you to just relax. Even when he said, we fight not against flesh and blood, he letting you know the war is spiritual. And we're trying to defeat it in the flesh. And that's where we're losing. So when we jump into the understanding of the truth of the matter, it sets us free. And you're like the second person, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, or someone else said something about what took place before the foundation of the world. It really set them free. That's the whole idea of Yeshua HaMashiach coming and the Father himself with us, is that we are feeling this thing. And when you say my heart is not so heavy, see, you was holding a burden trying to figure out, are we going to get out of this? Why are we doing this? It's going to get better. What's going to happen? Why won't we stop? Why these things are still happening? All these issues. And do you know there are millions of people battling with this here issue that we're going through right here today. It's many of us as people trying to figure out, how are we going to defeat it? How are we going to beat it? We ain't. It's already won by that right hand of the Father. He's already defeated it. That's why you think he said he's going to wipe away your tears from your eyes. These things is going to happen because he's going to know. He's going to know already what we done went through, what we are going through, and what we got before us that we're going to face. You see? So he's already prepared to give us that freedom, that liberty to just float free. But when you float free, guess what happened? He got you. He's going to carry you all the way. Because then he knows that, and she know I got to carry her now. He knows that I got him now. So I got to make sure I hold him up. I got to make sure I carry her through. That's who he is. That's that thirst he talks about. You want to thirst for the righteousness. You thirst for what is right. You thirst for who he is and what he stands for in righteousness. But you don't have, and it ain't. I had to tell my oldest son, baby, mama ain't got no hell and no heaven to put nobody in. Oh, we got on my oldest son, we was on some real heavy topics today. Oh, we was on some heavy topics. And guess what, y'all? He was schooling me. And I was like, all right, I like that. I like that. And you know why because I think it's about trying to, do you know history dies? History dies. Mm-hmm. History dies. That's why everything doing. You remember when we came over here? All that. So yeah, when you hear Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah, that was way back. Everything they said is dead. Why? Because it's not living out of us and in us. They didn't prophesize what it's going to be in our day, but we didn't gone past them and just it didn't die. So a lot of these, especially our men, they're chasing their history. It's because they don't want to chase a higher. What you mean chase, Deborah? Why are you trying to tell them men to chase a higher? Because a higher says, he that findeth the narrow gate. You got to find that thing. You see? So if you think you can find it standing still, that's on you. He said, he that findeth. No, he didn't say he that findeth. Listen to this. He said, narrow is the gate that leads to life. That means eternal life, which is leads you to righteousness, okay? And very few shall find. So you think you can find something standing still? So, but with history, they think they can go. It's so many. Okay, let me just sum it up like it's speaking to me now. In the end days, there will be many false prophets, false teachers that will deceive, that will deceive many. So when they're chasing history, they're trying to chase something to deceive you. That's what it's all about. Because history dies. History dies. Look at Martin Luther King. You don't hear nobody, you don't hear his whole life living. He's dead. And everything he stood for is dead in the grave with him. Look at Michael Jackson. Famous in singing and everything. Everybody loved him. But look where he at now. Anybody talking about him? No, because his history is dead. And you get 10 more years from now, it really be dead. It's dead now, but not like it's going to be. It dies, y'all. So the history that they're searching is a lie from the pit of hell. They searching Satan to get information to feed you. Because a higher, you don't have to search that history. The Ruach HaKodesh got that history locked in and out. You just got to want it. He's the true teacher. Now, if he's the teacher, he said, I will teach you all things. So what history are you looking for? What history are you looking for if the Ruach HaKodesh said, okay, you want to know something? Come on here. I teach you all things. So now they make the Ruach HaKodesh a lie so they can run in their flesh and get history, bring it to this devil's platform and say, look, y'all, look what I got. Look what I found. Look what I know. And everything they find and they know and they search is dead. It ain't gonna bring you to life. None of it. That's why all those lost books that they took out and lost, now one of the books leads you to Yeshua HaMashiach, nor a higher. Isn't that sad? Those books are stories about individuals who had a role at one time. But their role cannot redeem us. Their role cannot save us. It's nothing Enoch can say that can save you. It's nothing Enoch done that can redeem you. So why are we searching all these books? Now you got Big Judah running around here. He already brought in Mormons. Their book, the Mormon book. Remember, they do that Stephen thing. They're believing in Stephen being the prophet or whatever he's supposed to be. But Big Judah brought in the book of the Mormons. And he's been saying for the last 3 years that that's about us as a people. The whole book is our book for us as a people. Now, guess what he got now? Have you ever heard of the Moors? Have you ever heard of them? He said now their writings are about us. See what I'm saying? They're going searching things to deceive you. When Ahia said, I would teach you all things. So what about your history you trying to search for? When it's founded in my Father, who created the beginning and the end and anything in between. So what are you searching? Sit down. These people act like clowns, but they're doing it for Satan. This is his platform. Isn't that sad, though? They can chase their history, but won't chase Ahia. Isn't that sad? Don't y'all think that's sad? Do y'all know that it's no end to Ahia? And Ahia is the light, so all you can do is get brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Search that history. You want to search your history? Go to the light and keep getting brighter, 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 brighter in Ahia. No, you ain't gonna do that. Too much like right. You're searching history to deceive the people. You already deceived the multitude. What more do you want? You ain't gonna get no more because Ahia ain't gonna give it to you. So get somewhere and sit down and stop clowning. They keep on putting on clown clothes, acting like clowns. I know it. They get a lot of subscribers and a lot of likes. That's good. That's good. That's your portion. So all I'm saying, you getting your portion right here and right now. They're not. But why wouldn't nobody want the Ruach HaKodesh? I don't understand. Why wouldn't you want him to teach you? You know what it is? They don't want to shut their ugly mouth and be taught. That's another thing. They want somebody under subjection to them. They don't want to shut their ugly mouth long enough to hear exactly what he said. It don't come by you running your mouth, but by hearing what I'm saying in you in spirit. That's that one ear. He that has an ear, not two ears. He's talking about the Holy Spirit in you. Let them hear. Oh, no, they don't want to do that. They don't want to shut their ugly mouth long enough to hear what Ahia has to say. They don't want to do it. They want to be talking while he's speaking. While he's teaching, they want to teach. They want to rule. They want to show that they can get somebody under their submission. What is it? Authority, really. They want to rule and be kings and leaders. Baby, you ain't got nothing coming in this oppressive land but to be destroyed. And that's it. And that's it. You better hook on to that. Oh, no, that's not wrong. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, they don't want to do that. And I don't know. I just ain't got no sense then. I'm gonna tell you, I just don't. But I guess with me, it's just based on how I be seeing things and things he been showing me and things he have shown me. And because I can see it, I don't have nowhere else to go. Because I already saw the victory in him. Where is it at, Deborah? In his right hand. Where it always been. The same right hand that said let, and it was. Then turned around and said, let us, and it was. So what do I look like looking at the authority and the power of flesh of man and woman when I'm looking dead at the right hand throughout the beginning of Genesis always to Revelation? I'm seeing this right hand a good 500 times and the stretched out arm, but I'm going to run to man and woman. Y'all, they crazy. You crazy. When I'm sat and heard everything, seen it with my own eyes. I know, have ever watched television and you're on this big old mountain and you got to come around this thing like this here to get all the way down to the bottom? When I was on one of them, the whole car went over the cliff and I landed on a solid rock. The car was on top of the rock. Baby in front seat and the baby in the back seat. A newborn in the front seat. And it was on a Sunday to where there was no cranks or no equipment place open to come pull us out down at the bottom of the mountain. But let me tell you, within an hour, the machine was there. Picked us up, brought us on ground, went all the way home. My older sister said, I don't know how that happened, because she was with me. She was with me, but she was down below the mountain at another place. She said, I don't know how we gonna make it home. This car, I don't know. And we made it all the way home. Way home. I mean, it had to be, 300 miles? All the way home, we made it. That's after the car went over the cliff. Don't tell me who I don't serve. Why would I listen to people? Why would I listen to anybody? What do I look like listening to anybody? This father sat here and he took the life, the breath. He took his breath back from 3 of my sons. 3. And each one he took, it was something about them that I knew and I held dear to me. And I remember he said he would take my children, and he took 3. Wham, 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 wham. And next thing you know, next 7 to 8 years, bam, 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 and left something on their body so that I can remember. I told you I didn't forget you. What do I look like trying to trust in what a woman is saying and a man is saying? Like I don't know him for myself. This was the same or higher. I remember going down in the basement as a little girl, talking to him. And he talking to me. Some days I go down there mad, talking bad. Yes, I did. When I come up, I was feeling good. I remember that. You guys, I remember that. I remember one time the school had lied on me, and I went into my mother's closet and I just began to pray. I think I was like 7 years old. I was just praying. Father, they lied on me and they lied. When my mother and daddy came home, they said, don't worry about it. I was like, tell me I don't serve the Most High or higher. Got in that closet. I remember in that dark closet praying, telling him, they lied on me. You seen it. You know it. You know. Okay, want me to give you another one? My sister got involved with this one guy who spent most of his time in the penitentiary. She turned around. She always worked 2 jobs. And she worked for AT&T and Southwestern Bell when they turned into Southwestern Bell, turned into AT&T. So she spent about 35 years with them, with both of them together when they switched over. And she always had good jobs. And she never had any kids. She was just her. And she got involved with this guy, and this guy, all he believed in is robbing, stealing, and murdering. Father, give me some strength. So after they were together about 18 years, she never would tell me. When I moved to California, I heard word that he had set her apartment on fire, locked her inside her apartment and set it on fire. I said, now, why is it this guy would do that when I'm gone? That guy didn't kill people, but you know what he was afraid of? Sister Deborah. Sister Deborah. Because when he was in the penitentiary, he didn't know Sister Deborah had to hook up in there too, which was my oldest son's father. Told him, if you ever let Booby tell me you do anything to her family. So he already knew what was up. He knew who he knew. I knew. My oldest sister never, she said, I don't understand. Everybody I meet, they know you. Yeah, they knew me, but people don't know they knew me through the spiritual realm. I wasn't a person, drugs, alcohol, drinking, party, hardy. Never was involved in it. I'm just showing y'all, why would I be caught up in this Hebrew Israelite movement and its cult and all this stuff about what they want to be kings and leader and ruler? Rule your tail somewhere and sit down. You have to first submit to the Most High, or higher, through Yeshua HaMashiach, before anybody gonna look at you as being anything. And then after you submitted to him, then any woman should be wanting to be up under you. But you got to submit to him. He ain't telling women to be submissive to your husband. What is a husband? What did Yeshua say about his mother and his brother? Who is my mother? Who is my brother? Except they follow me. Meaning pick up where I left off and follow me. No, they ain't gonna do that. But they want you to be up under them. We are destroyed here, y'all. Gone. And even though I say it, it's okay. Because that's the way. That's the end game of the Father, to come deliver us out of this land here, out of all this mess. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. See, and we don't even understand. We sitting here talking about, oh no, I don't want to be destroyed. He got to break that sick mind you had in you for 400 years. Why? Why? Who in the live chat understands why Ahia put the curse at the highest level that we are destroyed? Who in the live chat knows? Let me see who can pull that one up. Who in the live chat knows in Deuteronomy 28 endgame says that until we are destroyed, why must we be destroyed? Who in the live chat can tell me that? It's in the book. It's in Jeremiah and it's in Ezekiel. Because I remember Ezekiel was just running his mouth. Then all of a sudden I heard somebody's voice. I said, wait a minute, hold up. Who talking? Hold up. Wait a minute, Ezekiel, you was talking for a minute, but who's that? And Ahia said, it's me. And he was telling Ezekiel a thing or two. Letting him know what we still today in the year of 2022 refuse and reject. Tell me, why is it we need to be destroyed? Why is that such an excellent, wonderful idea? Oh, I am too. Boy, that used to be a real heavy saying. I'm so glad man didn't create me. I used to hear that. I used to hear that all the time. I can't tell it all. Yes. Who in the live chat? Who in the live chat? Who in the live chat can say why Ahia put the end game of the curse that we are destroyed? I say that's the bottom part of it. That's the bottom part of it. That's the bottom part of it. And then you all will see why it makes sense. I don't know why I never thought to add that on there, but then you can see why it makes sense that we be destroyed as the end game of Deuteronomy 28. Let me see. Someone else has something. You're right. You got it. You got it. There it is. You just said it. There it is. You see? Now, is that unjust? What's wrong with us? What makes us think that after 400 years that he's just supposed to leave us disobedient, stiff-necked, rebellion, whoremongers? Why do we think he have to live on our standards? He knows all things. He's the beginning and the end and anything in between. Very good. Because we disobey him from the beginning. He told us, no, it was the first one. It was the first one first. Because of our disobedience, that's why we are going to be destroyed. There you go. Thank you. There you go. Let me ask you this. We are always following after other gods. Very good. Now we got another one said, because we disobeyed him from the beginning. Yes, and he told us we will be cursed in stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient, disrespectful. Yes, we are. From the beginning, he spoke it and it started with us. Now listen to this. 400 years. 400 years have our ancestors been here. We're no different than the day they came over. You see, with our mindset, our sickness. You see? So you see how much sense and righteous. When you see Sister Deborah, I don't know if many of you all have seen me say, I salute, Father, your Deuteronomy 28 end game. I salute your chastising. I salute every curse you have placed upon the whole house of Israel. I salute your chastising. I salute your discipline. I salute it, meaning I'm totally in 100 in agreement to everything from the beginning to the end of what you have prepared. You think he cares if I salute it or not? He don't care. But I want him to know I understand. The greatest thing is understanding. And if you understand what he's doing, you'll understand his next move. But if you don't have no sense to embrace him, then something wrong with you. Now I'm going to show y'all something. Listen to this. And I'm going to see who's going to get this one right. This is going to be a little heavy. I ain't going to even tell you the chapter where it's at, but listen to what it says and let me see. It's a part of why we're going to be destroyed. It's going to be added on there. Watch this here. I'm going to see who's going to get it. I know several of you are going to get it. And that's beautiful. That's really good. That is so good to hear that you in full understanding that it's okay. You know, I can get it. I get it why he want us destroyed. Listen to this one here. I ain't going to even give y'all the verse. I'm not going to give you the verse. Listen to this. Okay. Listen to this, y'all. Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelled in their own land. You got to get that. Y'all got to hear it now. I'm going to see who's going to miss it. See if y'all can get this one here. Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelled in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their own doing. Their way was before me as a uncleanness of a removed woman. Listen to this. Wherefore I poured my fierce upon them for the blood they had shed upon the land. Hear this one. And for their idols wherewith they had polluted the land itself. Now, what's Sister Deborah talking about? What is Ahijah saying? What is he saying there? Want me to read it again? Get it. We had to master the first question. But to get this one here is really heavy. I'm going to read it again and see who can master why it's important. Why it's important for him to destroy Israel. Listen to this. Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelled in their own land. They defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as a uncleanness of a removed woman. Wherefore I poured my fist upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for the idols wherewith they had polluted it. They had polluted the land, floating with milk and honey. Their own land, what is that? It's where he's taking them again. He's taking them to the promised land. Now, what happened in that? Yes, they were doing all that before. Guess what? Before he brought them to this land. How dare we think that he's not just supposed to destroy us here? He should destroy us in the spirit realm. He should destroy us in the spirit realm. But he's given us a chance by letting us be destroyed in our mind so that our spirit may be able to cross on through the promised land. And we run around here, y'all, let me tell y'all, these men, every last one of them, not one had the prophetess, behold, that's telling the righteous truth of Deuteronomy 28. They all lied, deceived many. When I say deceive many, men, women just silly. Men. So when you see these men running around here with their chest poked out, never worked a day in their life, been on drugs, some of them ain't never been on anything, been in all kind of things, walking around here talking we kings and we rulers and we leaders. We gonna lead this woman. Shut your mouth. Sit your ugly tails down and shut your monkey mouth. You ain't talking no spirit and truth, so sit down and stop clowning. What I just read to you was Ezekiel 36, when the higher stepped into Ezekiel to let him know where he's standing. Let me tell you something, son of man. These people were sick before they even got over here to this land for their curse. Before the curse was even on them, they was already sick. And we're running around here talking about somebody bothering us. We didn't bother ourselves for too long. We are in that day, prophetess, apostles, David Psalms, everybody spoke of this day. Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, and many others spoke of this day. We're in, and we're in it monkeying around, talking stupid. No spirit and truth in us, none whatsoever. He has every right because of who he is to do what he want to do and how he want to do it. Israel is destroyed. That's the end game of the curse. How dare him have a curse and don't have the end? You started it, tell me how you going to end it. Or is it going to ever end? Oh no, Deborah, it's in there. I said, okay, let me look in there and see where it's at. Because I think this, wait a minute, Gentile times is over. Wait a minute, what's going on with us? And when I read it, and I said, okay, I know I read this too many times. But Father, we destroyed. He said, yes, you're right. You got it. I said, but why haven't they weren't telling these people they awakened? Father, wait a minute. Hold up, Father, y'all. Hold up. How are they awakened? And ain't awakened to spirit and truth. They awakened, he said, to a lie that rests in darkness. So that's why they still chasing their history to try to find another lie on top of another lie and another lie and another lie. When y'all keep on rolling in them lies, you're going to be left here in the rectum of Babylon. When you see the debris, you're going to be stuck in her. Because this thing is spirit and truth. So what I was saying, when we talked about him destroying, they before the curse started, y'all, the people was off the chain in wickedness and evil. You see? So when he made sure Deuteronomy was in there, that's why he wanted to say, and Yah said, and Yah said, ye shall. Yah said, ye shall. Yah said, ye shall. Yah said, ye shall be destroyed. Destroyed, 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 destroyed. And I'm like, what part of that they didn't get, Father? He said, none of it. And I'm telling y'all the truth. He said, they ain't get none of it. I said, that's why. Yes. He said, he's the same stiff-necked rebellion, the disobedient whoremongers, murderers that was in their promised land doing the same thing you see them doing here on the earth today. But they telling you all the heathens bothering us. They doing it to us, they doing it to us, they doing it to us. They doing it to us, they doing it to us, and they doing it. They doing it to us. And guess what Ahiah said in Deuteronomy? In Deuteronomy 28, the Father said, you know of the plagues I put on Pharaoh. Israel, I'm bringing them to you. Israel, I'm bringing it to you. I, Ahiah, shall do it. That's what he said. And that's in Deuteronomy 28. Oh, he's telling you. And he's telling you all kind of things he's going to put on us. And he has. And he still is. So when we run around here with things going on with us, we trying to figure it out. Sister Deborah telling y'all the truth about staying in that light. You better walk your butt in that light. You better talk to that light, sleep with that light, wake up with that light, lay down with that light. You better hold on to whatever light that he has put in you so you can see spirit and truth. And stick with that. Because the end game, if they don't understand that they're going to be destroyed, guess what? They ain't going to be getting their spirit man together. That's the thing. That's why they want to switch over. A lot of the men have switched over to now they don't accept Paul. Remember, they were so into Paul saying women are to keep quiet. They were so loving on Paul, which I believe a lot of them don't read Paul no more, which is they call the New Testament. They don't deal with him no more. They say he's not legit. Now they're saying that we're not supposed to eat anything outside of what's come from the ground. It's a lot of things they said. It's a lot. They didn't switch the whole. They didn't switch so much stuff, y'all. They didn't switch so much. That's why you got to know him for yourself. Don't know him from Deborah's standpoint. Know him for yourself. Have a relationship with him yourself. Yep, the land was holy, but listen to what he says. I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't even finish it, which I should have. Let me tell you what he said. And did you know he's going to be talking to the land like he's been talking to us? That Ruach going to be talking to the land. He's going to say, hey, get it right. I want did, and I mean right now. He's going to be talking to the land like that. So that shows you that the land was not, when you say holy, guess what? It was life. It was life in that land. Now listen to where he's saying, now that you have said that about the land. Okay. Okay. Let me get it. Here it is. Wherefore I have poured my fears upon them for the blood they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. Polluted it means the land. Okay. But let me get where, or is it in Ezekiel? It's in here. I'm trying to find the one where he's telling you how they really messed up the land. Okay, it says how they defiled the land. and they polluted the land. And in this here, no, I don't see where I have but he's going to talk to the land, and the land going to get it right for him. And guess what he said? Oh my. Guess what he said? Oh, I got it. Guess what he said? He said, the land, when he finished telling the land, get it right. See, y'all didn't know that a land is desolated. It's polluted. It's worthless. It's no good. So those that's over there thinking they got it. Woo, we got this promised land. We getting all this oil and everything that's the richness of this land. We got it now. We got it. But they don't know. In the eyes of Ahiah, that land is desolated. It's polluted. It's, in a sense, it's doomed. So they thinking they getting something. They ain't realize they ain't getting nothing. And, okay, listen to this. It says, and when they entered into the heathens, listen to this. When they entered into the heathens, rather they went, they profaned my holy name. So these Negro men, the moment they got in the face of the heathens, these Gentiles, these white people, guess what they did? Profane his name right in their face. Listen to what happened. It says, and they, wait a minute, and when they enter into the heathens, that means into the heathens' land. Listen to this. Whether they went, if he sent them over in the islands, if he sent them in the United States, if he sent them over there in Britain, everywhere these slaves went. Listen to what they did. Heathen men. See, that's why y'all don't get it. Y'all don't have no respect for the Most High and what he has said. We listen to these monkey mouths that ain't gonna tell you spirit and truth. Now listen to what he said. And this is what he said. He got me when he said this. He said, and when they enter into the heathens, whether they went, they profane my holy name. When they said to them, now listen what the heathen said. These are the people of Ahiah. See, they knew who they were. These monkey men out here today telling me they chasing their history. We the people. These people knew you was the people before you got here. You see what I'm saying? It says here, they profane my name in the midst of the heathens. Now, these are your men, y'all. These are your men got in front of the heathens and profane your father's name. Now, watch this here. And when they said to them, this is what the heathen said, these are the people of Ahiah. This here says the Lord. So you know they said God. And are gone forth out of his land. They confused. Wait a minute, y'all. Y'all coming over here? See, they more shocked. And we not. They more shocked. Because they knew they was messing with. They knew who they was touching. They knew who they was coming up on. You mean the Father in the heaven, the creator of all things, has given his people up? Oh, it's on now. He's turning them to us. And that's why Ahiah keeps saying to Sister Deborah in these scriptures, and the heathen shall know. And the heathen shall know. He wants them to know, nope, I didn't give them up. I'm coming back for them. I'll be back later. See you later. That's why he keeps saying, oh, and the heathen shall know, and the heathen shall see, and the heathen shall see, the heathen shall know. And I'm like saying, what's your deal with these heathens? He said, they're going to know that I didn't give you up. I wasn't through with you. See, because right here the heathen said, wait a minute. The heathen says, these are the people of Ahiah. And are gone forth out of whose? Out of his land. They knew the land was Ahiah's, and they knew we were his children. So what history we trying to find? Because the Negro men thinking they're going to be able to teach these white people, these Europeans, these heathen, these Gentiles, that we were somebody. You're not going to do it. You're too destroyed as it is mentally. That's why you're going around here killing your women and degrading the women that brought forth your whole nation. If that's not something wrong up here, I don't know what is. Okay, now watch what he says. Now, don't y'all laugh. I try not to laugh every time I read this, but this is Ahia, I had pity on my holy name. And if y'all can't feel that, something wrong with you. Ahia said, I had pity on my holy name. Ezekiel 36, starting from 17 all the way down to 21. But I had pity on my holy name, which the house of Israel profaned among the heathens, whether they went. That means where we were scattered, every land we were scattered to, we got in front of the heathens and cursed our God. And let them know we cursed our God. We profaned his name. So he had wanted us to know we didn't have the sense to have any feelings toward what we did to him. So he said, hallelujah, I had pity on my name. Hallelujah. Father, yeah. Father, yeah. He had pity on his own name because you didn't have sense enough. You profaned it. You disrespected. You dishonored it. In the midst of the heathens. So this is why I used to try to understand, why do our black men has a tendency of getting in front of white people and bending their backs and flipping for them. I never could. This is why. If they had the balls to stand before these heathens and Gentiles and profane the creator. No, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Not profane David, Moses, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but the father of creation. They disrespect. They profane his name. They dishonored him in the face of every word they were taken to. You see how they was cutting up? So these ignorant people that you see in this land, that's why they need to be destroyed. I wanted to add that. I wanted that to add that so y'all can understand why the Father put the end game to be destroyed. What sense does it make to let it continue? Does that make sense, y'all? Why should he continue to let that continue? The end game is to be destroyed. Y'all was killing each other in the land that I gave you, flowed with milk and honey. You were killing your brothers. You were killing your women. You were killing. And then you get over here and say, they bothering us. They doing this to us. Why are they doing that? The things to Judith. Why are the heathens doing these things to Judith? Do anybody know? Anybody in the live chat, do you know why the heathens are doing, like they were saying, the police kill? They don't want us to have, honestly, they don't want us to talk. They don't want us to talk back to them. They don't want us to have the first word nor the last. They don't want us to speak. They want to speak, tell us what to do, and shut up or else. That's their mind frame. But let me ask y'all a question. Who in the live chat can tell me, what was my question? Who in the live chat can tell me why the heathens have done the things that they have done to the house of Israel? Anybody got the answer? Let's see here. Ezekiel 36, 17 and 21. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. Why were the heathens, when they got over here, why was the heathens treating them the way that they were treating them? Yes, we're still in captivity. Wait a minute. Yes, he said we'll be as this. I'm trying to say because. That's good. That's really good. I'm trying to see what that's really good the way you put it, because you said because we are doing it to ourselves, so that's why they are doing it to us. Very, very, very good. But let me show you where it says. Let me show you where he says that. Exactly what you said. Let me show you that. Listen to this here. Watch this here. Exactly what you said. Listen to how it's said in Ezekiel 19. It says, and I scatter them among the heathens, and they were dispensed it through the country. So he's telling you he dispensed them throughout the country. According, listen to this now, according to their way and according to their doing, I judge them. I, judge them. I, judge them. How did he judge them? By putting them in an environment the way they were conducting themselves on the promised land. You'll never hear a Negro, so-called Hebrew Israelite man preach that and teach that, y'all. They running around here talking about we awakening. You ain't awakening to nothing but a midnight darkness, and it's going to have something waiting for you. All a part of y'all's plan. But the problem, but the thing that's on here, let me explain this here. When you said that, so that that's why they are doing it to us. Exactly, because we were doing it to ourselves. Very good. Very, 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 very good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Carmelite. Mm-hmm. So when we get over here and we be talking about how they doing, the things that they doing, we're getting over here and we're saying they doing it, they doing it, they doing it, they did this, and they doing this to us now, they doing this and they trying to kill us, they trying to do this. Why do you think Ahia is standing back loud this stuff? Because he already told us in spirit and truth, the truth of the matter, you was doing it to each other already. You was in the land, the richest land on the face of the earth. I had y'all there. Y'all had your own land. Each tribe had their own land. Flowing with milk and honey. That means richest rich. And they were doing the same things you see the heathens doing right here today. But in the land of their captives, they shall remember themselves. There you go. But listen to me. Listen to this here. But guess what? They didn't. They didn't. Now, can you answer that? You see what I'm saying? Okay. Notice that at the end you said, and they shall remember themselves. Have they remembered themselves? Come on with it. Bring it on. That's why he got to destroy, because they still ain't remembered themselves. Everything Sister Deborah is telling you, you ain't never heard a Negro man nor a woman tell you what we talking about right now. Ain't never. And they ain't going to tell you. They rather tell you a lie than to give you the truth. Yep. But see, one thing, don't get caught up. Don't get bent. Don't get bent. Don't get bent. When he saw man, he placed him in the garden. He said, wait a minute, Deborah. It's not good. I said, what you mean, Father? It's not good. You placed him there. I didn't. You placed him in the garden. I didn't place him in there. He said, but it ain't good, Deborah. I said, why? Why ain't it good? You placed him there. He said, that he be alone. I got to make him a help meet my obligation. Hallelujah. It can't be forth. Nothing can come forth according to my will until she come on the scene and they meet bring toward my will. So all this stuff about, oh, woman wasn't created for man, man for woman, use a fool, and use a fool. All things was created for my Father. Yeah. Before it was spoken, it was. So it didn't have nothing to do with your lust. Your satisfying your flesh. Y'all ain't never made nothing on the face of the earth to satisfy our flesh. Woman and man was created to meet the will of the Father. Because if they wasn't created to meet, we wouldn't see anything existing on the face of the earth regarding humans. Wake up! Stop thinking stupid! That's how gone they are. So when you get to this here and you see him telling them, I put you in this land. They ain't even got over, they on the ship, on their way. You cutting up from the floor up the same way you was cutting up over there. Well, I'm going to bring you to a people that's going to be cutting up with you. Give you a little taste of your own honey. That's what he pretty much did. And I want y'all to understand one thing. Y'all need to get something straight here. Let's get something straight here. Just as he was in the garden, okay? And he saw man. He saw man. He placed man. He did everything. The breath of life. He did everything. But see, one thing you didn't know, woman was already in him. Because he said when he spoke, the power of his word had already spoke them. So what? Man came first. Woman was in him. Because he called it them. That's when you know the word is spoken. When a higher speaks, he letting you know. So y'all can say what y'all monkey mouth want to say. In the beginning, I said them. And even if I created him, in me was spoken them. But wait a minute, Deborah, hold up. Yeah, I put Adam in the garden. I put Adam over in the garden. But when I put him in there and the tree of life and others that was also placed there, and then I put the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and then I put him there and I said, hold up. None of my will can come forth until that which I spoke was them is brought into that garden. Let me create the one that's going to meet with him to bring my word forth. There it is. So it's all about meeting together to bring forth the will of the Father. And what was that? They were to meet together to bring forth everything Ahia had spoken. See, this wasn't a sex thing. That's why y'all didn't, none of y'all probably understood. That's why he said, and they was in the garden naked, Deborah. So I'm just letting you know, in case you didn't know, Deborah. They was in the garden naked because I wanted you to see that it wasn't nothing about a sexual thing. This was about bringing my will forth. I have to make her according for him to be able to meet with each other to bring forth my will. My will couldn't come forth with him sitting up in the garden. It couldn't come forth, Deborah. What you mean your will? My word, when I told them, when I spoke it with the power that they're going to have dominion and they're going to they're going to multiply, that can't come forth until I put her with him to bring what I spoke in my word to pass. We run around here thinking it's about us. That's sad, ain't it? So what happens? I want to get something straight, y'all. I ain't finished with you. Because I want y'all to understand one thing about my Father. My Father has two wills. No matter what, don't get bent. Because he knew, he predestined everything. He knew it was going to happen. Don't get bent. Because you'll get caught up in the wrong will. The Father is one. Okay? He has a righteous will and he has an unrighteous will. They side by side. They like your left and your right. They like when you look up, you can look down. They like hot and cold. So don't get bent and think that the things that you see in what Adam and Eve did fell in his will. Get that will right. There's a righteous will and an unrighteous will that works together to bring forth the mighty will of the Father. Yes, he knew that Adam and Eve would skip the tree of life. Here they go, skipping on down, and go over here to the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Why would they skip the most wonderful righteous will to go over there to the unrighteous will? The tree of knowledge of good and evil. Why? Because heaven had already orchestrated every angel come out of heaven. Their destiny was already sealed in the heaven. So when they get down here, they just go into the will in which they were already assigned. That's why they hurried up. You notice they did it real quick in the beginning. They hurried up and went to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because that's where they were in the heavens assigned to, because Ahiah knew their spiritual heart, and he assigned them to come. Not that he didn't know they would go, but that he knew that they will. Why, Sister Deborah? It's because what took place in the heavens caused him to bring it to the earth. Instead of they sitting up there thinking they gonna lollygag and do this and do that, I'll tell you what, you still got that mind of Satan. I'm gonna tell you what, all of you getting down here at the bottom. And you know what? I'm gonna send some of mine, but they're gonna come back. Those were the son of man. No, not the son of man, the sons of Yah. They coming back to him, no matter what. So if you go back to your Bible, you go to Google and you put in there, I shall hold you blameless, said God. And it'll pull up every verse God and told them, I'm going to hold you blameless. Those are the one that came down that he assigned to his righteous will, but they came down on a earth loaded with sin, because what? Satan had deceived the whole world. But Yah said, tell you what, I got a ram over here in the bush. And that's the son that was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. I got a lamb in the bush. And he got an appointed time, an hour in which he shall come and he shall die. But he coming to redeem minds back to me through the blood that I had shed before the foundation of the world. See, we the ones said, don't ever try to make my Father in that heaven a lie in any way. And don't get bent on that wheel, because you can get messed up from the floor not understanding that there's two wheels that's working one power to can be completed. Just like he allowed them to come down. He knew they was going over there to work with Satan. But did it stop him? No, because he knew his will ruled it all. When it all said and done, he ain't worried about Satan conquering the earth. Then y'all see, I'm gonna show you another thing. You remember how everybody always talking about the angels wanted to follow him. Oh, Satan took a third taste. Satan didn't take nothing. You was a lie from the pit of hell. Satan didn't take nothing. Ahiah took their tails to the uttermost darkness, in the under earth darkness, and chained their tails. And they still chained today. So stop lying. They teach that mess. Satan didn't have his way when the Most High was removing them and they were getting out. He put them in a place and he put Satan on the earth like a lightning. Swoop, get on out of here. And he allowed Satan to make the world the way that it is, because he wasn't going to let all them angels sit up there with that same mindset that he had. Y'all get y'all butts down there. Run with y'all ace. Run with him. Get on down there. Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to send some of mine. If it was so, it will fool the very elect that I have elected before the foundation of the world. That's why people don't want to listen to the righteous people. They listen to the unrighteous, and that's how the unrighteous get all the likes and the subscribers. They getting their praise, they getting their glory right now because heaven, they got nothing coming. And they too darn ignorant to realize that because they speak no spirit and truth to the spirit of the people. They just speak the flesh message which they have been speaking since they got on the devil platform. Same old yang, 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 yang. Now listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. And we're going to hear how Ahia said. Okay? Let's see what he said. Let's see here where he. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Wait a minute. Now, let's go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 25. Genesis chapter 2, verse 25. Listen to this. Listen to this very, very good. Listen to this now. Exactly. They were not aware of their nakedness. Watch this here. Let's see what the word said. And they were both naked. And when I heard that as a young girl, I said, why do you have to tell us that? Why do we have to know that they are naked? Who cares? That's my mindset then when I was young. But listen to this. Listen to the power of spirit and truth. And they both were naked, the man and his wife. Now, if he would have stopped right there, then maybe they would not have known. But listen to what he said. And were not ashamed. When he said were not ashamed, because they weren't ashamed. They were fully aware that they were naked with no clothes. She could see that he was different. He could see that she was different. But what? They weren't ashamed. But so they were fully aware. Fully! That's the way Yeshua says. I know what Moses told y'all. And I know Moses said you can get a written decree and divorce. But Moses just telling you that because of your heart. But let me tell you, from the beginning, that wasn't so. I love it when he said it. Every time I think about what he said, he's trying to get us to understand if we just tap in just a little bit to the beginning and trust that the beginning has nailed it for us to see. Because if you go back and you see 25, Genesis 25, verses 2 and verses 25, they were both naked. Why would he want us to know that they are naked? Because this had to be something for us to read. But they didn't know they were naked. Okay, because this came after. Watch this here though. The man and his wife. He's letting you know both of them was naked. But what did he say that lets you know they were fully aware? And they were not ashamed. So they were fully aware that they were naked. Sin caused them to see each other in the lust form, in their nakedness, in the way that I'm different, she's different. This is something that's going on. You see? But when the perfect creation, he wanted us to know, look, so when we run around here thinking it's about a woman with a big rear end and big boobs and this way and that way and dressed this way, it ain't got nothing to do with it. Y'all told you he had him clothes off. So what does that say to the creator? The creator said he had him in the naked. He just showing us his state of mind, his state of spiritual mind was never intended for us to cut up from the floor about our sexual desires and how we're lusting after one another. It wasn't the will of the Father. It wasn't his intent. Why you say that, Deborah? That's why he said, bag they butts back, Deborah, to Genesis 1 and 2. If they sit and abide in me and let me abide in them, I will give them the full revelation of spirit and truth. But no one wants to go there. No one wants to go to Genesis 1 and 2 and set their tail down, shut your ugly mouth, and let him minister to your spirit. It'll make you see things totally different than you ever seen it before. Because he'll tell you from the way of perfection that he created everything. Oh, no, they ain't going to tell y'all that either. They ain't going to tell you. Yep, they in chain. So they didn't even get to go. Remember, it said, Lucifer, Satan took a third. Teach that thing in spirit and truth. A third followed him, but a third got their tails down in the uttermost darkness, chained up. All these other angels came from the one that he allowed to come down, like he did with Adam and Eve. And then, didn't you see Cain? He came in ready to do the work of Satan. Instant. But Abel, hallelujah, Abel, you can't even know where Abel come from because you don't sit down to hear the Lord teach you. We're so busy hearing man and woman, we don't shut up and listen to the Spirit teach us spirit to spirit. This thing can't be taught by the flesh. It can only be taught by spirit. Spirit and truth. Hallelujah. Thank you. Genesis 22 and 25. So with Genesis 2 and 25, where he said, if he would have just stopped at man and his wife was naked, and he could have stopped there, then yeah, but it said, and were not ashamed. So that shows you they were fully aware that they didn't have no clothes on. They wasn't aware that they could see each other different, but they wasn't ashamed to just be out in the opening, because they were different. They looking at each other, they can see each other different, but nothing was there to cause them to lust, to desire to know what that is you got. What's that you got? You see, but when Satan came in, oh man, it's on now. We better get some clothes on. Woman, you got that and I got this. We better get some clothes on. Yep, he said it. He said that they were chained up. And that's where they butt's gonna be. Now, this is maybe somebody in the live chat can answer this for me. And this is something else that I had. It might be already in me, but I haven't dealt with it as being already there in me. In Ezekiel chapter 36, remember we were talking about the land. After he has cleansed us up and cleaned us, gave us a new spirit, a new heart, put his name in us, and so on. Listen to 35. And they shall say, no. And 34. No, let's go on. We're going to have to go to 33. In 33 of Ezekiel 36 and 33, thou said, Ahiah, in that day, hallelujah, I love to hear him say that. In that day, I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities. Praise the Most High, Ahijah. I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the wastes shall be built. Watch this here. And they shall say, this land that was desolate, is become like the Garden of Eden. And the waste and desolated and ruined city are become fenced and are inhabited. Then the heathens that are left round about you shall know, hallelujah, that I, built the ruined place and plant that was desolated. I, Ahijah, have spoken it, and I will do it. He's talking about the promised land, y'all. He's going to get it right. And if y'all ever take our time and pull up the scriptures, it's all up in there where he's talking about, he said, he's talking to the mountains. Hallelujah. He's talking to the greenery. He's telling them, get it right. I'm bringing them home. I love that. I love that power in who he's saying for. You know, he's telling the mountains, you get it right. I'm bringing them home. Because see, they was destroyed. They was desolated. Now they back. He's putting them back. Okay, in Isaiah 36, you read 33 down to 36. You read 36, chapter 36, verse 33 down to verse 36, and you see how he was talking to the land. But you also need to go to the Bible. Go to Google and say when Ahijah speaks to the mountains to bring forth. And then you'll hear Ahijah telling this mountain and the greenery and everything in the promised land, get it right. I know that's right. I love it. And he was telling them because he's telling him he's bringing his home. Okay? So, and that's why he says, and the heathen shall know. That see, y'all knew who they were all the time. They always knew who you are. So let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask someone in the live chat. Let me ask y'all this. If they already know, why do you think the heathens, not the heathens, why do you think the Gentile thinks, not the Gentiles, let me get that right. Why is it the Hebrew Israelite movement feel they have to prove who they are? You see how out of order that is? That's why I'm not for the Hebrew Israelite movement nor the Hebrew Israelite camps and cult, because they're ignorant. Now, I can't even say ignorant anymore because I don't like to say ignorant. That means simply not knowing. I think when he said that which was in the dark shall come to the light, I think the Father have done an excellent job bringing many things to the light. I think our spirit man has to want to embrace and thirst and yearn for what is righteous, yearn for the light that's in the midst of the darkness. Bring that darkness into the light. We as individuals, it's something in us that causes us to desire to want to know what is righteous. You know, that's the tree. That's the narrow gate. You want to know righteous. You want to know what's just. You want to know what he wants you to know. You know, not run around here want to know what everybody else knowing. Because the truth be told, if you all, somebody answer, why is it the Hebrew Israelite movement, when they said they were awakened and they feel that they have awakened to something, why is it they feel that they have to awaken others and tell them who they are, without and tell them what the heathens are doing? And that's why Ahijah is saying, Deborah, I'm taking them just like I said. I'm not finna cut in. Remember, I used to say to y'all, he ain't coming back here to change nothing. He ain't finna give you this and give you that. He ain't finna do that. all these people on this devil platform teaching you, telling you a lie. It's just like the tree of good, of knowledge of good and evil. Everybody running to that same tree Adam and Eve has went to instant for no reason when the tree of life is sitting right there. But you choose the tree of knowledge of good and evil because that pleases the flesh. And that's the one they ran to quick, fast. But what I'm saying is, why do our people in the Hebrew Israelite feel that they have to tell the heathens and the white man who they are? Anybody can answer that? That's right. Very good. You answered it. You answered that quick, didn't you? That's very good. That is very good. Very good. Because of in their flesh. Yep, it's all about their flesh. They don't want nothing spirit. They don't know what the spirit is truth. If Ahia said there's going to come a day when those, the true, Yeshua said, when the true worshipers is going to worship in spirit and in truth. Sister Deborah ain't saying something that this is outside of this word, outside of the Ruach HaKodesh. I'm not telling nobody nothing outside of that. But the thing about it, Sister Deborah ain't going to precept you and line you and little here you and a little there. I'm not going to pull all these books on you because the Ruach don't need not a book to teach you nothing. He don't even need this here Bible to teach you. He's spirit. He's true. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but who he is, the word. See, they don't even understand. The book is not the word. This book wasn't in heaven, but the word is, the word was, and the word shall be. It was in the beginning. This wasn't there, but his will was. His will was. So we need to stop trying to make him stupid to make us look like we got some sense, because we ain't got none. We ain't had none. But the reason why I said that, I'm going to tell y'all something. And I know a lot of y'all ain't hearing this. And the reason why I said it, because I feel that the Hebrew Israelite movement, the whole ordeal, I don't care who, UICKPCEZRKST, I don't care who they are. They're a bunch of liars, and the truth rests not in them. And Ezekiel just told us, Ahia said that they profane my name everywhere I scattered them in the face of the heathens. And the heathens respond. These darn Negroes, I know he don't want nothing to do with them. These darn Negroes and profane their creator. That was the best land they could ever have. No land on the face of the earth. He gave them his, they knew that it was holy. The heathen knew that it was holy. Not only did they know it was holy, they knew who we were. In Ezekiel 36, they said, aren't they the children of God? Weren't they on his land? And these darn Negro men run around here talking about chasing their history, trying to find out who they are. Chase the Ruach HaKodesh. How about that? How about that? You can't chase that, can you? Because he don't want to chase your tail. You done lied. You done manipulated a lot of these people. You done got on this devil platform and cut up from the floor up. You're walking around here with clown clothes, trying to make clowns out of every man, and all of them need to get their tail somewhere and sit down. Clown. Teaching these men how to hate the one to bring forth their nation. How sick can you be? Teaching them how to sag and be disrespectful to women and their children. Teaching them how to have to take care and be responsible for their families. Teaching them to disrespect their mothers and their fathers. Teaching them not to have no integrity, no morals, no standards. You're teaching them what they already was doing before they got over to this land, said the Most High. Ahia. That's why he got to break that thing down and destroy it. You see? That's the end game of the curse. You're going to suffer in there for 400 years, and I'm going to make sure you destroy it. So when I get to you, I'm going to clean that mess up. Those that's the small remnant. Because this is crazy. And I salute him, because if you go back to Genesis, all the way to Revelation, always, they still no different. They never changed. Never did change it. That's why he pulled his remnant out. And when he sung those horses, my son, I had him to read it. Me and him had it like a lesson. And then my son was saying, you mean that horse Beyonce? Beyonce, why is she getting them same horses that's here when we read in Revelation? Why is she doing it? I said, because the devil want to mimic my ahia. But one thing he don't have is the power to see it forth. So she can sit on a white horse, a green, pink, or whatever she want. She's sitting on hell while riding it. So sit on that, okay? So I will say that it's a sad, it's something. A light should come on to you to see that Ahia has already spoken it in this book. How is it that your awakening require you to master precept, line, little here, little there, and every lost book and every found book, but yet not hear that the heathens already knew who you are? You see what I'm saying? I know y'all don't get it, because that's potent. Spirit and truth is hard to graft. It's hard to get when you have been bombarded with a lot of trash, a lot of unrighteous, unjust. Why, Deborah? Why? Because Ahia had already told us Satan has been tossed out of his first estate to do what? What was it you was having Satan come down here to do? To deceive, Deborah, the whole world. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Go back to the beginning. You heard it. He was tossed out, landed to deceive the whole world. What about the angels he sent down here on his behalf, Deborah? To deceive them. But he had a ram in the bush that was slaughtered already before the foundation of the world to redeem his back. But the ones that followed him, you ain't coming nowhere. And a lot of the Hebrew Israelites ain't coming back. They're not going back. They think because they're reading that on the gates, we're going in that gate. No, you ain't, baby. You just don't know. Even the heathens gonna be going up. Your tail gonna be left back and too ignorant to teach spirit and truth, so the people will know the truth of the matter. So they teaching what Satan got them teaching. They're speaking what Satan had them speaking. And even if Sister Deborah say something to as powerful to turn the light on, it's no light gonna be turned on to them. They too deep. It's like I called it. Remember years ago, I used to call it, they went too far out in the ocean. They went too far out. They can't see dry land. So they said they can't see dry land. You think they're going to swim back? No, they ain't. They can't see no land. Because Ahia has allowed them to take their tail so far out where they can't see dry land. And that's spirit. And that's truth. That's on dry land. There they were. So that was before anything was created. You see what I'm saying? So they don't want, now let me explain it. Say for instance, if we want to be righteous in the eyes of the Father, we need to be searching his history. What history can go as far as where he's at? Not none. This other history of man, it dies. But the history of Ahiah, what did he say? You see how you got on here, John 1 and verse 1? In the beginning was the word was with Ahiah, and the word was Ahiah. Guess what? He said, heaven and earth shall pass away, but his word shall always. Why? Because it is him. He letting you know all this can burn up. But when it all said and done, Deborah, what's in me? I am the word. We have to understand and separate the word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah from this book. You see, when you go to a job, they give you a company policy book or a company rule book. When you go to college, they give you books. When you go to elementary, they give you books. When you go to kindergarten, they give you books. Books is an example of how to teach and have something to refer to. So he inspired this to be that. He didn't stop man from going in it and smearing it. My father is real. He is serious business. He letting you know, did I stop them from hanging them Hebrew Israelites from the trees and setting them on fire? Did you see me stop Yeshua on the cross? Y'all better know who I am and recognize. No, they want to think that they powerful than you, and you don't know what you're doing. They the one left in the darkness. So if you think for 1 minute he's going to let you think that this is him, no, it's not. It has been inspired. When you allow him to live in you and teach you, shut your ugly mouth and let him do the teaching, the leading, and guiding, he will show you in here the power of who he is in here, in you. And he will show you in here. This was for what? Anybody know? What was this for? Lust in flesh and lust in the eyes. That's it. Father, but is of the world. The word should be in us. There you go. There you go. That's why he said, greater is he that's in you. You see what you're getting it? You got it, girl. You got it. I love that. I love that. See how simple. See how you just say stuff so simple? Because it's really living in you. It's manifesting itself in you. You see? Because this, guess what? He has inspired this. After he inspired this, man and took this, wrote in it, wrote out of it, smeared it. So he said, I tell you what was this for? He said, study. Study to show thyself. Don't come try to show me nothing. Praise the mighty Yah. He said, study to show thyself. Show yourself. Don't go studying to show nobody. Study to show thyself approved. Rightly dividing the word of truth. He letting you know. What's that word for truth for? Well, wait a minute, hold up. What's it said in there for? Because he knew that everything in his Bible was going to be tampered. But he said, if I see you studying to show yourself approved, don't show your mama, your sister, your daughter, your son, your husband, your wife. Study to show yourself approved and then rightly divide the word of truth. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Because you've shown me that you're willing to study. And in that studying, you're tarrying. You're thirsting. You're thirsting for me. You're yearning for truth. Oh, I'm on my way now. You didn't cut up from the floor. I'm on my way. Then I will come and abide in you and let your spirit abide in me. And we become one. And I begin to teach you this thing from the heaven level. See, that's another thing people don't understand. When Ahiah is teaching you, he's teaching you from the heaven level. He ain't got time to teach you to the worldly level. That's why I'm trying to say, and I have been saying, I don't get it. And he said, he told me, you get it now, don't you? Yeah, Father, I get it now. Deuteronomy 28 told me. Because I'm like, well, wait a minute. People are following these multitudes on here and they ain't giving them nothing in the life. Nothing. No spirit and truth. No, nothing but claims and try to look holy. Try to talk holy. Try to appear to people to be holy. Those are the ones you got to watch out for. Because holy is within and not without. A higher rests within. He said, I ain't got nothing to do with your stinky flesh. That's why I gave you a spirit, so I can abide in that. Because I know where that flesh going. And it knows. That's why I don't want no good to come to you. But people rather worship man. But guess what? The house of Israel always, from the book of Genesis, always worship idols. And they continue. Here it is, 2022. They ain't going nowhere. Now, what is the idols today? Anybody know? That's right. You don't answer and prove yourself to nobody. You don't owe nothing to nobody. Even Sister Deborah, your pastor, your leader, your nothing. You submit yourself to the Most Higher and let him teach you. Now, if you decide to go and get with a group, guess what? Greater is he in you already than that group you walk in. And you be humble, you sit there until they are able to recognize the greater one that's in you. If they don't recognize who a higher is in you, kick rocks and keep it going. Kick rocks and keep it going. It's no way the Father gonna live in you and send you amongst people, and they're not gonna recognize the spirit of the Most High or higher. Kick rocks and keep it going. Don't abide with people who cannot observe, cannot behold the light. I told y'all when I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and I moved next door to this lady that was an assistant pastor, and the head pastor was a woman. And she said, I'm going to invite you to my church. I just love you. It's just something about you. I just want to invite you. And her son, he was older than I was, but he just fell in love with me. Me and him used to talk on the back porch all the time about the goodness of the Father. And this lady, it was what I was there for. I think I was living over there for like 3 months. And she said, I told my pastor I was bringing you. You know what? When the church service was over, I came to her church. When the church service was over, you know how you gather together and you start talking. Her pastor ran out the back door. She said, where is she going? I told her I wanted her to meet you. And that lady that wanted me to meet the pastor, both of them was way older than I was. She's running out that back door. See what I'm saying? Because Satan knows who's who in the spirit realm. You think Satan knows who you are outside the spirit realms? No, he's a spirit. And he knows the spirit. So when the higher saying, try the spirit by the spirit, stand down on that flesh and try the spirit of that individual. If that flesh start talking crazy, you know the spirit is just as crazy as the flesh. Get away from it. People who don't recognize the light that's in you, get away from them. Nope. I'm sorry to tell you. That's not the idols. That's not the idols today. The idols are the ones to pretending to be worshiping your Father. See, the Hollywood is not idols. People just worship them, okay? Idols, real idols that goes up against the standards of who Yah is, pretending to be something. And that's this devil platform. That's what it was made up for. Facebook, all of them. Because it allowed people to get on here and be something that they're not behind the screen. And then you begin to like and to idol them and look for them to be famous. And you feel that they somebody and you think they perfect and you start to think they're good. You start idling them. That's idling. These Hollywood people, ain't nobody, everybody know they ain't nobody but the Satan. So I'm just speaking of somebody that's in, I call it in the church, in them. You know, they ain't gonna idol Beyonce and Hollywood. They're gonna be idling other people who speaking about they most high or higher. They're going to idol them because they're going to think. That's how Satan rumbles. See, he knows that Beyonce and Jay-Z and Kanye and all these Europeans and all these people out here, but he's saying that's trying to match up with a higher. You see, that's what he's talking about. Hollywood ain't trying to match up with a higher. But those who in sheep clothing but are wolves, they are the idols because people are idling them. How do you think the great falling away takes place? The great falling away because they saw idols. They saw pastors and bishops and seers and watchmen and Maureen and apostles and prophets and prophetess and all these big people that carrying all these so-called spiritual positions. That's the idol today. Not Hollywood. That's just where you want to worship and get involved in. But the idols are those that's on these devil platforms. People are praising them and they ain't giving them no food for their spirit, but they idling them because they're getting the praise. When it all said and done, you can get somebody on here and they can have, let's say if they have 50,000 subscribers and I don't know how many likes, but 50,000 subscribers, they comes and they do 2 videos a day. You look on there and you see 10,000, 10K every day, 12K, 15K people going on there listening. They're idling them because they're pretending that they are all that and some in a higher. So they go there. So that's how the great falling away took place. They fell away from the light because those who pretend to be the light really was darkness. And they went that way. So they fell away from the light. Instead of sticking with the light and letting the white light walk you to the narrow gate and to brighter light, into spirit and truth, they decided to idol those that's teaching darkness because it made their flesh feel comfortable. And that's where they're at today. Many has fallen away. Guess what they decide to do? Say, forget it. I don't want to be a part of none of it. Same way in the church. A lot of people left the church because of the things that people were doing. That's what's the idol. Everybody was idling the pastor, idling the bishop, idling the apostle. They can't say nothing wrong. They can't do nothing wrong. You put them up on the throne, way above a higher. And don't you think he don't know it? You put them there, here, and here. That's what a higher called idling. You put them above you. So what happens? Listen to what, this is what I'm seeing. I'm just telling y'all in the wilderness what I'm seeing. You got people on here call themselves having the Bible, got their head wrapped, men call themselves with their fringes on, teaching this Bible here. Okay? And Sister Deborah sitting here listening, and guess what, y'all? He said, can you feel that? I said, yeah, Father, I'm trying their spirit and they don't even know it. I can feel it in me that they ain't who they pretending to be. That's the ones that he said, if it was so, it will fool the very elect, because I elect them. I put in them before the foundation of the world. I ordain them and predestined them that are not to be fooled by this artificial mess. And then what people doing? They get on there and they be having Bible class. And when you finish, you stand back. Tell you what, just try. Stand back. Wait 2 days. Go back to their page. That same day, guess what? 100K. Wait a minute. 1,200 messages. Not one message. I'm going to get on to y'all. Okay, you see what I'm saying? After the lesson is over, they put the book down and they end it, okay? 3 days later, you go back to their page. You see 1,200 messages toward that topic they was preaching. You see 15,000K, okay? That listen, watch the video. That's how many watched the video. 15,000K, okay, watched. but you got 1,200 messages. And guess what? Who can tell me what the messages are saying? Can anybody tell me? No one should be above my Father. That's right. Who can tell me? Anybody else? That's right. Outside of the Ruach HaKodesh that teaches spirit and truth. Yep, they in wolf clothing. That's above, first and higher, first and last. He's equal to, not supposed to look higher. But I like that what you said. I like that what you said, because you said equal and not supposed to look up to higher. Exactly what he revealed to me and shared with me, with my kids and others. In modern days, idolizing and worshiping. Huh? What would be the message? This individual, now listen, just had they was on YouTube and they did a message for 45 minutes. They uploaded it, okay? And they got 115,000 K, okay? Let's say 15,000 people watched and viewed, okay? Then in the messenger, the comment, they got 12,000 comments. What are the comments doing? Anybody know? That's a good one, y'all. That's a real good one. Woo, I like that one. What is the comments? Can anyone tell me what is the comments? Let me see here. See who got it. Yeah, that's it. Almost pleasing the flesh. Yep. If you got 15,000 people watching and 1,012 commenting, oh wow! I hope he's feeling better. Oh, okay. See after your boys. There you go, praising that person. Isn't that sad? And none of y'all would ever realize that. This is why I sit and try to tell y'all. When I first got on here, my whole thing was, I cannot believe these people doing this. I cannot. Now, I just said to y'all, 15,000 viewed this video. 1,200 left a comment. All 120 comments is praising the one that taught the message. Where's the glory for my Father? Didn't he say I don't share it? He don't share his glory, nor his honor. See what I'm saying? When you read those comments, they're praising the one that taught the message. That's idling, y'all. That's idling. So that's why I tell you, it ain't got nothing to do with the rappers and the Beyonce and Hollywood. Hollywood can't compare to this devil platform. Hollywood ain't got nothing on YouTube and Facebook platform. All these praise on YouTube and Facebook that's preaching and teaching, men and women, but more so men, the people are giving them praise. So what happens? Is that not idling? How can we be so blind that can't see that when you looking at it? Try it tomorrow. Get on there, listen to somebody teach something. Then come back the next day or 2 days, and you'll see the number of people that watch the video and the large number of comments praising the individual. Let's go. Here I go. This one man get on there. I'm gonna mess y'all up now. I'm hot now. One man got on there and he said, okay, God has been dealing with me greatly. He has answered a lot of my questions. Now I want y'all to see something. Look at this. He shows on his phone. And he say, and on his phone is Donald Trump and his son-in-law standing up. Okay. And in the when his son-in-law is speaking, you see a bird, or eagle or whatever flying above the sky because they was outside. He feels that is a higher approving Donald Trump to be his man. You tell these people to see. He began to teach this thing. He always, black men, I'm going to tell you, black women, something you do not know. Your black men has always, for a long time, kissed the feet that these heathens and Gentiles have walked on. That's why it's so hard for you. It's because they have kissed the wrong feet. You see, and they constantly sucking on their toes. Constantly. I see how white these black men will hold the door for a European man before he hold the door for you. If you don't think something wrong with that, you see. I've seen them talk and communicate with other races in a way that they don't even know how to communicate with their own race. They put up a different standards when they're dealing with them. Can't even be their own self. You see what I'm saying? But can get on this devil platform and tell you, I'm awakened. Use a fool. You're lost without a cause. So their ego, their boasting, and their pride. And this man just wore it out. And God said the eagle. Then he got, well, let me tell you. He got so to where he was talking this, he was saying, and there are those who thinking that I shouldn't be putting Donald Trump up like that. But God said, he told me this, and he told me, I'm like, I got on there and I said, wait a minute. You're one of the sickest Negroes I've ever seen. You sicker than sick. If Donald Trump, this is what I told him, was from God, why ain't he president now? He turned right back 2 hours later and made another video. And all the white people was eating it up. All those white people, they love this man because he always feeding into them, the heathens and the Gentiles. And that's something you all never gave that a thought. There are a lot of our Negro men that feeds into heathens and Gentiles. Marcus Rogers, don't y'all ever look at him. Don't give that man the time of day. Don't give him, he's a wolf that think he's tough. He don't even have on sheep clothing. And he think he bad. He's about that dollar. About that dollar. Always about that dollar. But one time, he got me so hot because I was like, when I cut on my phone in the morning, all the people that had dropped the video shows. And this man has a real bad way of downing black women and downing black people in Hollywood. Real bad. Because he think he white. Because his mother white. He ain't never seen his daddy. He's black. You think these heathens, these Gentiles give a rest behind because your mama white? They don't care. They're going to treat you like you a nigger to them. That's in them to do that. It ain't going nowhere. So what happens? While he's thinking, what he did is he flipped it. He said, I'm going to cater to white people. And that's what he does. He catered to Europeans. And he makes sure his videos are stepping on black women that's in Hollywood and black women in general. Just like that Samuel guy, whatever the man name that passed away. This guy is worse than anything they say he was, because I didn't pay no attention to him, and I don't pay no attention to him either. But the fact that don't deal with that that sick man. He's a very sick man. And he playing as if he worshiped God. And everybody, all the heathens and the Gentiles, they thinking they getting close to God because he is feeding them. And this is where he's getting his money. See, the boy knows he playing it for all this work. I remember he was begging Kanye to get in touch with him because I can help you, man. You need to get right. Baby, you ain't trying to get nothing but that dollar. You should see the message he sent to the individual who won those millions of dollars here in Illinois a couple of weeks ago. He sent a message, did a video when you need to get with me so we can talk. And I'm like saying, this man he's gone. He's not to me. From what I can discern of him, he don't even have on sheep clothing. He don't have on sheep clothing because he's got a lot of hate built up. And that hate coming from his daddy never gave him the time of day. He ain't never seen his daddy. He ain't never spent no time with him. His daddy left him when he was young. And he's still sour from that. So what he's sour from? I had a white mama, so I hate blacks. That's how he is. That's how he is. And not only that, he went out and he married somebody's baby. When I say somebody's baby, the reason why men go out to tamper with younger women or virgins is because they silly. They don't even know how to wipe their tails. You see what I'm saying? And that's what they want. I don't know if you all know this, but this world that Satan has deceived based everything on children. They want to feel they in control. They want to know they messing with babies. It gives them adrenaline. You see, it gives them something from a loss so high and deep. Oh man, if y'all knew what they do. I think it's once every 3 years. And I'm talking about the presidents and all of them. Obama, all of them get together. And they got these blonde head, blue eyes. And they got a lot of young. They run in the fort. Oh, I know y'all probably don't. No, y'all might not have heard about it, but it's true. It's true. It happens. And nobody would stop it because it's all power on the earth. From every corner of the earth, they meet up for this special day. Oh, these kids don't come out alive. Oh, no, they don't come out alive. No. That's why they want young girls. When you see magazines, a lot of them, go and look at a lot of Vogue. A lot of them. You look at them, they painted them to look a little. Either they older and they trying to get them to look younger. It's because it's fascinate men. It's a lust desire, which is Satan. It's just Satan to get babies. That's why you all refuse to be spiritual educated about why a higher desire to destroy the world. See, what they didn't know is the key was when the sons of men began to have daughters, the sons of Yah start to take them as many as they please. Now, what was they doing? Why do you feel you need to have as many as you please? What was the word please for? And many for? They saw what what the men were doing. That was already detached to the sin in the world. And by them being the sons of Yah, they took on the same thing they saw men doing. Giving these daughters. See, listen to this, y'all. I'm sorry that you all never knew spirit and truth about this matter. In the Bible, it tells us that something took place that caused the throne of Ahiah say, end it. Wait a minute, Father, y'all. You just started it. How you gonna end it? He said, Deborah, end it. And when he allow you, when you sit and give him the respect to come in you and teach you, then he allow you to see spiritual what actually took place. And what was taking place was, no, don't let them lie to y'all about the giants. This ain't got nothing to do with the giants, y'all. Read it for yourself, and you'll see he was saying there was giants in the land. And he began to tell you they were mighty men. But that was after the sons of Yah saw the men. They was having daughters. These men was having daughters, sex trafficking them. This is the house of Israel, y'all. Sex trafficking their daughters, selling their daughters. They didn't understand that in the book of Genesis, you didn't have the authority nor the right to sell any female because he called them and not just him. So that cut into whatever Satan got you thinking, you thought and made up on your own on down the line. Because when it was perfect, it was them. You turned it into him. Y'all ain't never said that. And we sit and lie on him and make it sound like, oh, he said they did and they did. Use a lie from the pit of hell. He said in the beginning, Genesis 1 and chapter 2, he said, them is over everything, not him. So that right there shows you the whole earth is out of the order of the way Ahia created it at the beginning. That's what he means when he says it's out of order, in case y'all didn't know that. And furthermore, in Genesis 6, they lied and they keep lying. Listen to what it says. It says, when the men was having daughters, no way can the sons of men have the daughters without the father giving it to them. Get it right. Y'all been lied to for too long. You're still living a lie. See, they teach y'all that mess because they men with that heavy, wicked, lust and evil still in their heart. And they wonder why he said in Deuteronomy 28, you're going to be destroyed. Because they don't feel you ain't going to destroy us. We the children, you on the back. You've been doing wrong since the beginning of Genesis. He destroyed it once, and you bet he's going to destroy it again. What makes you think he gives a rat's behind about destroying you in this land when he destroyed the whole world one time? Why should he be in heaven boo-hooing because he's destroying your mind when he destroyed the whole earth in Genesis 6? So what happened? The men were producing daughters, many of them. And as they were producing all these daughters, they were sex trafficking them out. That's what they were doing. And then the sons of Yah, the one that came down here for the mission of Yah, when they got down here, what happened? Do anybody know? You don't know. They came to the level of the one that deceived the whole world. That's why he had a ram in the bush in the heaven. Yeshua HaMashiach, the lamb, slaughtered before the foundation of the world, because that's his ram in the bush. It's going to redeem the sons of Yah back unto him. But the sons of Yah saw what the men were doing. So they decided. And they wanted. And Yah said, my spirit always strive, because his spirit was striving with the sons of Yah. Striving, getting them to, correcting them and doing this. He said, no, my spirit shall not always strive with them like this here, Deborah. Because they flesh too. So I'm going to stand down and let they do what it does. I'm going to always strive with them, but I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call their life out for 120 years. How do you like me now? How you like me now? And you ain't going to make it because I'm finna end the world. You see? So what happens? The sons of men saw what the men were already doing. And they began to want what they saw, as many as they please. Look at the word many and then please. What was they pleasing? Their lust. Their lust. Many. So the father was selling their daughters off by great numbers. Sex trafficking. That's why they don't care about their daughters being sex trafficked now. I remember the heathens, 2 heathen men my age have told me that's one of the greatest things they hate about black men. They don't have no respect for their black women. Never did. That's what they told me. And they want the white man to respect them. And you walking around here with your pants to your knees, showing your whole underclothes to their wives and to their families and to their children. You in the mall with your pants down. How do you think they like? And when they see them, that's those monkeys. Those are monkeys. They crazy people. They ain't got no sense. So they raise their children to see us cut up from the floor. Oh, look on the news. You see they showing this and they doing this and they doing it. I sit back and watch our people act like wild, I ain't even say wolves, wild beasts that has never been seen before out in public. I see them do it all the time. So y'all can lie and keep saying, oh, they bothering our people. They do it too. You keep on like y'all don't see it all. See, what y'all want you to see is spirit and truth. The truth of the matter of what you see. Not running around here trying to justify, clarify, and identify and find a reason why these things are. See it for what it is and call it what it is. Because when you call it what it is, then you're walking in spirit and truth. You can move to the next level. But if you sitting here around trying to, when they ain't doing this, well, okay, why was the men having daughters and they were fair? How could the sons of men have as many as they please if the father that's the daughters is not giving it to them? Do that make any sense, y'all? It don't make sense, do it? It ain't gonna make sense. It never will and never have. You ain't gonna hear them Negroes speak that. You'll never hear them teach that. You'll never hear them climb on top of it and preach it in spirit and truth because they've been lying. That's all they're good for. It's lying. That's why he destroyed it. Not just because of that, because of everything that they were doing. He said every imagination of their thoughts was wicked and evil. What are you talking about, Father, y'all? He said, what did I say? Who did I say? Go back to Genesis 6. Men, daughters, being sold by their fathers to other men, as many as they please. How was they being sold? How could the sons of men get as many as they please? They can't even handle that. But the fathers gave it to them. See, they forgot. I'm gonna show you how dumb the heathens, the Gentiles are, not the Gentiles. I'm gonna show you how dumb the Hebrew Israelite men are. They never thought that, wait a minute, hold up. According for the sons of man to have as many as they please and take as many as they please, someone has to be on the giving side. They are on the taking side. When who's giving daughters away like that? Y'all never thought of that, did you? Never gave it a thought, did you? Never wicked. So you run around here and try to hook up to the ways of these wicked men if you want to. Call themselves Hebrew Israelites. That's why a lot of them are climbing on top of them to be evil and wicked. That's why a lot of them won't take nothing they say. It's because they haven't come to the truth of spirit and truth. They've been teaching lies to make themselves look good instead of speaking truth, the spirit and truth, so that the eyes may be open in these last days and they may walk in the light. They rather teach you lies and darkness. That was sex trafficking then. And aren't they doing it now? In the last days, like the days of Noah. They doing it right now, sex trafficking. Right now, as I speak, they doing the same thing. Men are actually giving their daughters up because they're not in the household doing their part. But see, what's wrong with the men? Why is Sister Deborah, and how can Sister Deborah speak so heavy toward the fault of the men? Anybody in the live chat? No. Why? Just listen to this. So here these women are, these girls being born. First thing, the key spiritual the spirit and truth of it is you have to listen to what Ahiah is saying. You got to listen to the spiritual side. And that's what we don't want to do because it holds truth. And truth really cuts people's throat every time. And it came to pass when men, wait a minute, hold up. Genesis 6 is starting off with men. Do you see woman in there? Do you see woman in there? Men began to multiply on the face of the earth. Men. And daughters were born to them. Where's mama at? Ahiah wants you women out there to not be so ignorant. He wants you to know you women, the mother that birthed these children, brought them to your breast, had nothing to do with the nonsense that they were going on doing in the days of Noah. You had no dealings with what the men decided to do because they had locked you in so bad as to rule over you and to sell your children and to do whatever they want, and you're not supposed to speak. You're not supposed to say anything. You're just cattle to them. See, their mindset was messed up a long time ago. So if you think it's wrong for him to destroy them in Deuteronomy 28, the end game of the curse is that they destroy you sick. Because they are sick people, and they have always been sick. So what happens? Genesis chapter 6. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Now we know daughters are born unto them. Now, I'm going to cut up on the front floor right now. How did Ahiah suffer a situation of this to be even in this book? Because it tells a total bright light. On the face of the earth, daughters were born unto them. Any issue on the face of the earth that deals with sons and daughters being born, Ahiah is holding men accountable. He always did, y'all. We just too ignorant to accept what is righteous, what is just in the eyes of he that is the word. Now listen to that. You see, it says, and daughters were born unto them. To who? Woman? No. Mother? No. Grandmother? No. Wait a minute. Hold on. Why is woman? Ahiah is sending a message to every woman at the sound of this here message. That it never been about you. It's showing you how wicked the minds of males were. And they will not preach nor teach you all that because they don't want you to know spirit and truth. They want you to believe their lies, and you have ate up everything they have said. You have praised and glorified and honored every lie that they have stepped into and supported them in. Now listen to this. I'm upset now because, see, I wasn't planning on going this route, Father. Now I'm upset. Because, Father, it's doing exactly what it was doing in the days of Noah. They're doing the same thing. They're taking these women, these daughters, these young girls, ignorant pastors, so-called dials, breeding virgins so the men can have as many as they please. He's a sick species. Now listen to this. And it came to pass when men, where's woman, began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born until them. What is woman? Father says, stand down. That means stand down, women. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Now watch this here. Verse 2. That the sons of Ahiah saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. They looked good. And they took them wives, all which they chose. So do you think that they came up to the men and took their daughters from them? No, they paid the father. They paid the men to take all these daughters, as many as they please. What can they do with them? What can they do with them? As many as they please. It's about the desire of what they was trying to do, please themselves. And the father wanted them to be pleased with their daughters. You see how men been out of order? You see, they've been doing not just the mother, treating her like cattle, like God have given her to them to be like a cattle, laboring, a slave. And we run around here talking, they got us as a slave, they doing this. Y'all saying, wait a minute, Deborah. You mean you Negro men don't understand? You've been living that since Genesis, treating these women after I called them out as them. Multiply, replenish, together. These things I called y'all together to be doing. And you took it upon yourself to make her way below you. And I called y'all out as them. And you called it and shut her all the way out, and you ruled it all. What James Brown said, this is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. That's sad, ain't he? He's not only calling a female, he said females, a woman or a girl. See, but they missed that long time ago. They messed that up from Genesis. See, now right here it says, and the Lord, Ahia said, my spirit shall not always strive with them. That means I'm not going to be turmoil and my spirit keeping them from doing what they're doing. It's not going to keep doing that with them because they are not just spirit, they're flesh. That's what he was saying. But they sons of Yah. And the only reason why they were doing it is because the men were already doing it. So they want to make you think that all the sons of Yah was giants. Stop being a lie from the pit of hell. And here it says that he was going to, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. Now listen to this. It says, there were giants in the earth those days, and also after that. He's just letting you know there were giants in there. He didn't say those were giants. The giants weren't doing those things. Those were the sons of men seeing men sell their daughters over to them, as many as they please. How can the sons of Yah receive all these daughters as many as they please? Except the father sell them to them. You see, y'all messed that up from the floor. See how males make themselves look good? You see how they make themselves look good? You see how they made themselves look real good and get on this devil platform teaching like they really know what they're talking about. And then they try to blame it on the giants. They need to cut that mess out. Because if you look up the word giants, it'll tell you there's no word like that in the Bible. So it's like it was put in there. It wasn't called giants. So what are you saying? And then the father gonna sit here and say in verse 5, Ahia saw that the wickedness of men were great in the earth, and that every imagination of their thoughts of their hearts were only continual evil only. That's sad. So wasn't that light? What did he say? Forget that, Deborah. I'm killing all of them. Everything. Ants, everything finna go down. See how he did that? Because their minds were so gone into evil and wicked. Let me take these people up off this earth. So who are you to sit and have audacity to say something about Deuteronomy being the end game of the curse? The end game of the curse is that you be destroyed. You lucky that he's destroying this and not the whole thing. Spirit. You see the sense. And it's sad that the mindset is that deeply rooted in lies. Giants didn't have nothing to do with that. Oh, they can paint the picture. Oh, yeah, they'll paint the picture pretty. But what picture you going to paint when the sons of Yah saw the fairness of the daughters that was born to the men? How can they get the daughters without the men transferring them over? And can they get the daughters without paying? No, they couldn't. Y'all didn't know they did. They had to pay. So the father was selling their daughters off as many as they could so that they can go to some man to please him by great numbers. Does that make any sense? Why would they do that? Sex trafficking, same thing. Did he say this day is going to be like the days of Noah? Aren't they doing that? And I didn't know it's really heavy now, y'all. It's really heavy. So keep y'all daughters in prayer and keep the spirit of the Most High before them, because I heard today that it's real bad. I didn't know it. I thought that had ceased a little bit, but they stay in it. That sex trafficking, they taking these little girls out of here because it thrills a man. Now I'm gonna share something with you. Then I'm gonna end. I was listening to last night of this certain individual who says she's a prophetess. I was listening to her explaining, and this is the truth. It's sad. It's sad because so many women sits in darkness with no light. She was talking about, she said she's a prophetess. She was talking about something that's really, really so true, y'all. It was so true. I said, oh, let me get on off of here because I knew she was speaking truth. I said, let me get on off. I don't even need to listen to it because it was that deep. But I did listen to not even half of it. And her whole thing was wanting people to understand that cutting your private hair off, okay, no hair, she say, but your private hair off is a trend that's going on. And she's true. She's telling the truth that men are preferring women to shave themselves below, and women are preferring men to shave themselves. But what is happening, she's saying, is women don't understand that men is desiring everything about them to appear to be younger than what they are. They like the idea of young little girls. They want to see you like young little girls. And really, honestly, that is the biggest porno regarding men. Say if it's a man that likes to watch porno, his adrenaline for porno is so heavy when it comes down to little girls, because Satan already warned him over in watching it. But it's greater if he sees little girls. And a lot of women don't know that came way back in Genesis, because you lied about Genesis and they keep lying about why the world ended. What started it? A lot of things took place, y'all. But Ahia is saying every imagination here, Deborah, was evil continually. How dare we blame that on giants? You see how sick these men are? They feel pleasure deceiving you all. Being able to stand on this platform, you give them 20,000 views in one day at what they teaching, and then have 1,000 comments praising him about the message. You gonna tell me that's sick? I don't know what it is, but I will say that teacher, that lady that was teaching that, she's a prophet. She was teaching it yesterday, and she was right about that. I don't agree with everything she says, but she was right. She was right on that, and I just got off of it because guess what, y'all? Sister Deborah knew that was so true. I know, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've heard so many stories. And Sister Deborah heard so many stories, and they prefer that. And like she was saying, when they go down on a woman, they want it to appear like as if it's the appearance like the young girls. You know what I'm saying? That hasn't even had any sexual contact, period. So that just shows you that's the mindset of men. When they go to Art Kelly and Michael Jackson, these people picked up the trend that has been going around for hundreds of years with the heathens and Gentiles and all over the world. They have always been tampering with young girls. So they figured since they had this, they can do as they please. It was done to them. If you ask each one of them, especially Michael Jackson, he'll tell you if he can come up out of his grave, he would say, my daddy gave me over to the elites and they ripped my tail. They did all kind of things to me. He'll tell the story. And to me, the biggest thing, the father said he ain't got away with nothing. I said, but Father, him and his mother leave this earth knowing that they let that elites have Michael Jackson the way they wanted to. And I think that was so sad. Daddy was participant. But the thing that the elites have on them is we built you up. And our way of tearing you down is taking your life and everybody in your family. And that's why it was always a shh about it. Always, because they got you when they're able to take your life and take your family, tell you they're going to take your family. First thing you go is, and it's never talked in the family. So now you hear Michael Jackson's 3 nephews. They're older now. They're coming up saying their uncles was murdered. They're coming up fighting that. They're coming up trying to bring that back because, see, their fathers wouldn't say nothing. Michael Jackson's brothers, they knew what the elite and how he was sold over to them. They knew all about everything, how daddy sold him over, mama sold him over, mama too. Every time I look at her, I said, look at her. Her dried up tail gave that baby in. But that's just like the days of Noah. When he decided to end the world, men were giving their babies up. They were giving them, so what? They ain't had no cycle. It didn't matter. They was getting this, and it was what all the men were doing. So it was the norm. And in them, it always been the norm to treat a woman like she's property. So, and where in Genesis 1 did he tell him that she's property? He called him out as them, having dominion, ruler, multiply, replenish, be over. No, they go running up there talking about he said she gonna have ruler over her. Now that even makes me question that. Because it don't make sense. They've been lying from the beginning. I might even go up in that and try to ask the Father to show me if there's something in there. But I have to go to the Father. He has to show me that. Like he showed me this here in Genesis chapter 6. So I, Sister Deborah, say, I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in. Yes, he will, according to his ways. The fruit of him. Jeremiah 17, 9 through 10. Praise the Most High Yah. So it's going on 11, and I have to get out of here. And I say I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in, and I hope something out. Now, stop it, Deborah. Dig in deep yourself. That's the Spirit. Father Yah, if you would teach me what Sister Deborah is saying, show it to me that I may see what Sister Deborah is saying. You see what I'm saying? Don't just trust what I say. Read it and tarry for him to come and teach it to you. Because, let me tell you, he'll come in and show up and show out. And you'll wonder where you been in some sort of a cage somewhere all this time. Yes, he will. So I appreciate each and every last one of you in tuning in. And I will say that you all make sure you have a blessed evening. Okay. Did anyone have any last questions before I end this video? Did anyone? I want to give anyone. Thank you. I want to give anyone if they had a question. All right, all right. Shalom, shalom. Rock. Yes, yes. So I say, bless each and every last one of you, and I will be back. This little old lady. Shalom and shalom. Try to